Welcome to Mirrorsphere. This is Daniel, your host. Again, we're back. I have finished my other video about the book, and now I want to cover the series. There may be a bit of spoilers in this, so if you plan on wanting to read this book, what I'll do is I'll just real quick give you my overall thoughts of this book series, and then I'll delve into a little bit of spoiler stuff. And I would love to talk with all of you and discuss how I felt about this series. So, my overall opinion, where I would rate this whole series, I would put this up there with the Lord of the Rings. I really would. Lord of the Rings were a masterpiece, but I think what this guy has in these books, this trilogy, is pretty up there. I would put this above my Love for Aragon series. I really enjoyed those books, and these were almost on a whole new level for me. I thought how he dealt with the demons was very interesting, and not like normal. Like in my book, I have demons, but in the book I'm doing, the demons are demons, like scary, horrifying. When they show up, your blood turns cold. But the way he did it was very interesting. Like, that they're creatures that you could summon and they fight for you. Instead of like, where like, I don't know, I can't think of anything right at the top of my head. Maybe World of Warcraft's the game where, you summon demons, but they're like demons. Like, you have to keep them or they're going to kill you and steal your soul. These are like, just fantasy creatures that are... He did a real good job with, taking different creatures and kind of explaining how he spliced different creatures together to make something that was completely different. And it's really cool. And some of the animals he has in the real world almost seem like demons. I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the series, how the races were portrayed. The dwarves were kind of like what I was seeing from the Middle East. Now, I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan, so I've seen their culture firsthand. So how he had the dwarves almost seem like that kind of culture was really interesting. How the dwarves were really interesting. How the women dwarves all wore the veil, so you couldn't see their face. I thought that was cool. And then he had where one of the main female dwarves took off the veil and wanted to show how strong she was without it, and that was I like that. You had the elves, who were very kind of on their own, had their own rule set. They live on trees, and I think he did a real good job with the elves. I really enjoyed how their race was seen, how they were portrayed. The humans were the most interesting because there was definitely factions that you can see the problems that people were having. There was a couple of people like Daedric. If I butcher his name, I'm sorry, but Daedric was one of the most hated characters you're gonna hate in your life. But how he resolves that is really good. And how there's schemes. There's certain humans that are scheming just to line their own pockets. They don't really care. They think they're over prideful. Some of them believe that they have no problem. They're not worried about the orcs. There's a lot of them who think that they can take care of themselves. They don't need the other races. They want to get rid of the other races or make them extinct so they can steal their work, so they can line their own pockets. So there's a lot of cool, interesting things with that. But they're also really cool, interesting characters. His Artreus, I believe his name is. If I butchered it, I'm so sorry. But he's like the mentor to Fletcher within the Summoner School. That guy was really cool. It's really interesting how he kind of discovered him, Fletcher, and how he helped him out. How he became, a good mentor to him. His father, I'm not even trying to say his name right now. The blacksmith who, helped raise him. God, there's so many good things in this story. There will be spoilers now. I will start delving into a little more of the details of the book. So if you don't want to, stick around like that, please. I'll see you next time. Thank you for coming. But thank you for being here. So yeah, let's get started. How his mother, who you think is gone, you think his whole family died. He used to hate his mother, and how when he realized that wasn't really, she didn't give him up. It was really kind of interesting how he grows and changes throughout time. How he is not given everything. He is put through hell. He puts Fletcher through hell. Every time you think Fletcher finally has peace and finally, you start to feel like he finally got what he deserves for his work. Like in the last book, or the first book, really shocked me. Like he trained hard, he worked hard, he was belittled by everyone, and he finally got to the final tournament and won. And just as you think he's smiling and he's happy and he's receiving his award, they handcuff him and they throw him in jail for a year. And you realize that that's where the second book starts. And a whole year of him just being trapped in this tiny little space for no fucking reason, and it's for no reason. And then he finally gets out, and then again he realizes who he is. In the second book they do a whole courtroom thing, which was really good. He finally gets free of that, and then something else happens, and he gets free of that, and it's like, Jesus, man. And then they're like, hey, we're going to send you on this big thing, and this big mission, and he's made noble. He find out he's actually noble born, and so he's got land now, and he's got all this responsibility, and you see him struggling, trying to figure out how to, because he can't do everything on his own. That's another good thing about these books. You can tell that the main character can't do everything on his own, which I strive to put in my book. That even though in my book, my guy is, the son of the High King, the grandson of the High King, he has to really struggle. He's not given everything. He's not some, royal prick who thinks he's better than everybody else. He has to earn people's respect. They're not just going to give him respect because he's the son of the immortal High King. He wants to earn it. He wants to deserve the name that he's given. He wants to deserve his birthright. But yeah. Anyways, the book keeps going. He goes on the mission. They're doing really well. Some things kind of went a little bit, there's parts of the book where they're like, hey, they do the right thing and then they pay for it a lot. He does a lot of the right things and has to pay for it because these people hate him and they want to destroy him. And then something happens and they get trapped in the other, the rift area where the demons are. And they have to figure out how to get through it. It was very interesting with the flowers, how there's different flowers that can be used different ways. That was really interesting. I really enjoyed that aspect. So that was a great, the yellow flowers and, them landing on the volcano and, his pet diving into or not his pet, but his demon Icarus dives into the lava and is draining him of energy when he needs it the most, but also saves him. It was very interesting. And how the flowers weren't just there in like a big bush, big field of flowers on the volcano. There was only like this small amount that was already taken, and it was good. He did a good job. And then, in this book, they go through the rift. They have to struggle to survive. Everything they're doing is just trying to survive as long as possible. A lot of them believe just giving up hope. They look to him for leadership, even though he doesn't even really know what he's doing. But he does the best he can. Oh Sorry, my brain went blank for a second. They escape. You think finally Fletcher's going to have a break. You just lived through and discovered so much that is so helpful, and you think people would be so much happier, but no. Now they're looking for them as criminals. They have to sneak into the palace and do this whole, tell the people what really happened, which causes the main enemies to actually be jailed because they were planning to kill them the whole time. It's very interesting how they did it. And the bad guy, oh my God, the one guy that I actually enjoyed his character, and then when he turned out to be super fucking evil the whole time, fucking shocked the hell out of me. He did a good job with that. That was really a gut punch, and I enjoyed that. Thank you for that too, because it was like this servant boy who Fletcher befriends, and you think he's a good kid the whole time, and then all suddenly in the last book, I believe it was the last book, when he turned on them. And you realize he's a racist asshole who's been killing innocent people for make the races pure. So, I don't know. But Jesus, that was good. I did not expect that character whatsoever. That was great. Him not having Icarus turn into a full dragon was kind of interesting, because I actually was expecting him to go back into the rift after talking with the king. Maybe getting a bunch of like yellow or blue vials, a couple yellow ones, and be like, hey, we believe attack is going to happen. This is what I thought the book was going. And he would go back into the rift and keep drinking blue vials until Icarus became a full blown dragon. But he doesn't, and that was interesting, because the whole time I expected it to happen. And then when Khan, which is the big orc evil dude, shows up a full-blown dragon, who's just like, Jesus. Now he's got to fight him with his Drake, which isn't a fully grown dragon yet, versus a fully grown dragon. This is going to be how he's going to defeat him. I was very surprised, and it was really well done. The whole final fight scene, really good. I was actually expecting Fletcher to walk out with the head, and have everybody praise him as a hero. The book ends really well with his mother recovering, because she was held captive for 14 years, I believe, in the book. I believe it was 14 years. Or longer, actually. It might have been longer. 17, maybe? I can't remember. I'll have to look. But anyways, it was a long time. She was held and tortured, and just her humanity stripped from her. She was just gone. Her mind was broken, and when they rescued her in the second book, and then he realizes who she is at the end of the second book, and then having to see her, he finally gets his real mother, but she's just not there, and to have to struggle to recover who she is, that was really cool. But yeah, it was a very good book series. It was really well done. The ending was I liked the ending, don't get me wrong, but when there was like wedding, there's like the part where his teacher and two of his teachers are getting married, pretty much, and the big celebration going on. I was like, why is that not Fletcher and the Welf chick? Because the whole time you see that they love each other, and I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. I know I am. I enjoy a good love story just as much as anybody else, as long as it's not super sappy. But this is really good, and they have to struggle because elves don't really like. She's the son of she's the daughter of a high chieftain, pretty much, and she's expected to when she comes of age to lead her clan, because the females lead the clan of the elves. But since her mother was killed by her sister, and her sister was banished, her father took over because she was not of age until she could. And to the elves, getting with people outside their species is you can get thrown out, and she was worried that she has a lot of responsibility with her people, and if she follows her heart, and gets with Fletcher, she will lose her place within her people. And so there's that struggle within her, and you could see it through the book that she really wants to be with Fletcher. She's jealous when he looks at her women. She wants him to be near. She fears when she thinks she's lost him. You can feel the emotion from the story. In the end, they get a kiss. They kiss, and then she flies off to help her father in the front lines. And Fletcher just stands there kind of a little bit disappointed, but then his mother shows up, and she finally recognizes who he is. So that was really good. I did not expect that. So that was interesting. So yeah, I really enjoyed this series. I would put this above the Aragon series. I really would. And this deserves its own TV show. If you want, if I could create a TV show, this would be it. This would be a cool ass TV show. I think it would get fans from everywhere. But you also got to be aware, a lot of these companies, they butcher this stuff. They butcher the stories and the characters. So you got to be aware of that. Sometimes you just want to keep things where it is. And I think he did a fantastic job. I wish the story kept going. I wish there was another book to go past this, maybe in the future. Maybe Fletcher is finally with her and they have a kid or something. I don't know. But it was a great story, and I will look forward to reading more from this author, Taran Matharu. I'm never going to get your name right. I am sorry about that. I'm just the worst thing. I have a really bad short-term memory. I really do, and names are the worst for me. Trying to remember people's names. I've had people I worked with for years. I still cannot remember their name. I don't know. It's just weird. But thank you for this book series, this story. It was really fun to delve into these past couple months I've read these books, I should say. I probably will pick up the prequel later on. I probably won't do it right away. I have other things I have to do first. But I also I know he's doing another series right now. I don't know exactly what they're called. I don't know anything about him yet, but I will definitely look him up, and I'll have to check him out, because he's a good author. And sometimes you just find that good author that you really enjoy. Like a couple of mine, R.A. Salvador, which you've never read any of his books. He does a lot of the Legend Drizzt books from Forgotten Realms. Those books are fantastic, by the way. Those books are also really good. And following Drizzt, I used to call him Drizzt. Right now it's like Drizzt or something like that is how you actually say his name. Drizzt Doran. Through his entire struggle is really good too. So if you're looking for that one has tons of books too. It's like 12. His 12 main books, and then he's got like a whole new section, like where it goes into Neverwinter book series, which is I haven't gone into yet because I had to find. I like to read things in order. I can never find what books come in order with that, so I had to do that because I don't like grabbing a book, reading it, and realizing it's 3 books ahead of others, and then I'm like, what the hell happened? But thank you for coming. I'm glad that you got to listen to me ramble about a book. I hope you guys go out, pick up these stories. They're really well done. I put them on the same level as Lord of the Rings. I put them on the same level as Aragon. I would put them higher than Aragon. I really enjoyed Aragon, but this is definitely better than Aragon. But yeah. So thank you for coming. Be good to each other. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Hail the Phantom Menace. Hail Confiscate. Hail the fans. And hail good stories. Thank you all for coming. And have a good one. Bye.